Hello, I'm Scott Brown with Green Wind and Other Home Energies. I'll just give you a shot of the adaptation I've done to it so far. She seems to be tracking the wind a lot better now. This is the Harbor Breeze model that I made. The prop is still at the same length, but the tail, as you can see, has got quite a bit more surface area on it. I'm going to move for a better shot. There we go. It's a better shot of the tail. I made it in a teardrop kind of shape. It sticks out about twice as far as that other little piece used to. You can see she's slightly furled there. The windswept area of the blade has so much force pushing back on it, and the other tail, when I held it 90 degrees to the wind, I didn't feel much push on it. This one I do. Plus it's a little bit longer, which helps keep this thing a little tamer. It's a lot nicer now. It tracks the wind. Instead of the wind coming at it with the tail 90 degrees to the blades, the wind was still coming at it at about a 30-degree angle. That's definitely not right. It's kind of a nasty day coming up here. As you can see, it's overcast. But this seems to be acting pretty nice. I'm kind of anxious to see what it's going to do in the wind. Isn't much wind out here. I can feel it. It's about 5 to 7 miles per hour, gusting up to about 10. But it'll get more than that here in a little while. Oh yeah, look at her. She's acting more like she's supposed to. Look at the speed I got on them blades now. If I take any off, I'm going to take 4 inches off each end to take it down about 8 inches total, which is going to bring it up to about 6 foot 8 inches. Or down 6 foot 8 inches. The rattling you're hearing is because it's a two-bladed, and I did not put a rubber bushing on the bottom of the pipe that goes down inside my tower. So as it tries to yaw, I'll explain how that makes the noise there. When the blade is horizontal, it's harder for it to yaw than it is when the blades are vertical. I'm sure you could figure that out by swinging a pipe holding it level and trying to see how fast you can spin it, as to holding it straight up and down and trying to turn around. It's a lot easier to turn it when it's vertical. So it kind of yaws and jerks like this, which kind of makes the pipe rattle at the bottom. Not a bad deal. I can always tell when it's acting right. Doesn't bother me right now. I'll take it down and put a bushing in the bottom. Anyway, let's go inside and take a look at a reading, just a little difference. And I'll explain something else about the lens effect that I saw, that I was showing you before. Oh yeah, that's sweet looking now. I love it. She's actually tracking the wind straight on. Well, you remember I split my coils, so that means half the voltage. But being a longer blade, one advantage I noticed on this is I don't have to turn the light bulb up and let it catch up to speed and all that. It kind of just, it'll pick up from 0 and move its way up. So even though I've got half the voltage, she's spinning quite freely out there on this. It's like this is not a match for it. I figured I'd give it a chance to blow this bulb. Kind of keeps it on a little more steady than the other wind turbine did. So I'm quite pleased now that it's tracking into the wind a little more. It starts up easier, number one, and it has the power to keep pushing. I'm loving it. I got more of a consistent higher reading now. And we're going to go see what it does with the amp meter here in a second, as soon as I wire up to her. I'm loving it. Look at that. I'm liking it. I told you that when you short out a field, it makes it harder for the magnets to pass the coil. Anyway, it's spinning right now. I've got everything. This is my amp meter hooked up. I have my decimal point right here on my setting on my meter right now. And I'm about to short her out and straight through the amp meter to show you digitally how it's going to show a good reading, and then it's going to slowly drop off as it slows the wind turbine down. Let's try it now. Yeah. And you see how it just slowly drops on down to nothing as it slows the wind turbine down. Watching my amp meter hooked up to 24 volts and in line with the wind turbine. It seems to stay in a charging mode here, not dropping to zero like it was before. I'm getting more consistent high readings and they're staying there much longer. I guess that's mainly because it is tracking a lot better. According to my meter, I was looking at 1.5 amps at the peak there. I'll jump back down to my meter and watch it for a bit. Okay, there we are. Looking at 1.3 amps, 1 amp, and a half amp there. That's climbing back up. I'm keeping much more consistent higher amperage going into my batteries right now. I got 24 volts and the amp meter put in series. Didn't quite drop down to zero there, but she shot right back up. Like I say, the wind is wild. You can watch these readings go up and down. It's the peak readings that we're really concerned with. It's not very windy out here yet. I'll give you a shot of the trees, which aren't very tall. I'm looking up at them from sitting almost at the ground. These aren't very tall trees. Probably about 15 feet. Alright, focus. Focus. There we go. Look at there. I like them higher amperage readings. Much better. Much better than before. Okay, my open voltage here. Like 36, 35. I was up around 60 something there. But because I split them coils in half, you notice I'm not going over 100 very much. Probably why I couldn't blow that bulb a while ago, but it would stay more consistent having a bigger prop on it. And I'm telling you, that's the reason only. Yeah, so a 24 volt system is very good for this. If you figure about double what the voltage is putting out, or I'd say if you're looking at about 150% open voltage of what your batteries is, you're still doing pretty good. I'm staying above 20. I'm staying above 24 volts, 26 volts, basically what it runs, 27 while it's charging. So as long as I'm staying just above that, that's a good match for my batteries and the wind turbine. There's 28. See, I didn't drop down below. When it gets close to the battery voltage, there's less amps going into them. Thus, the lens effect doesn't slow the wind turbine down. It lets it speed back up, and the wind will press it again. If I went to a higher voltage on the batteries, I would be charging all the time, but the blades would spin a little faster and make up for it, but not quite as good as getting it matched to your battery system. You want it to charge all the time. Now when it gets up into the higher winds, switching it up to more batteries if you want to is a good thing, but still, believe me, that prop is going to be pushing hard, so just go ahead and let it suck up them batteries. When the batteries get full, go ahead and switch them over. I'm going to show the tape drive motors here now. Alright, there we go. There's the tape drive motor hooked up directly in line with the wind turbine. Definitely a lot more response than I had before. We're going to go ahead and check out the other one. Well, there's the Amitech hooked up. Straight with the wind turbine. I'm Scott Brown with Green Wind and Other Home Energies. I'm going to shorten the prop a little bit and get back with one more update on the Harbor Breeze model of the ceiling fan wind turbine. And many good things to you and yours.